All right, Sandra and Fernando, I am so excited you guys got to be here. Thank you. Thank you for flying all the way out from Texas and investing and believing and trusting. I really appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit, what was this experience like for you? What was this weekend like for you?
You start.
It was, I guess the only word I can think of is discovery. Mm-hmm. Not that I had any doubts. Didn't really know that much about what I was going to encounter, but what I've learned and what I'm learning is just it's a plus for what we want to do. Nice. And thank you for the invite. Thank you for the opportunity. As much as you give us, I hope we can give back by showing you that we're going to do good with it.
Good.
Do the right things with it.
Good. Sandy, do you want anything?
It was things that I learned. Is that what the question was?
Yeah, just what was your first initial, sharing that you had? And then we'll get a little more detailed.
Okay.
How was this
I think initially when I came in, because I was focusing on the weight loss, that I was thinking you were going to be, because I know it changed to the back, but I was thinking, no, she's, somehow she's going to bring this in and she's going to talk about, maintaining weight and losing weight and all this. And then I think I realized at the end of the first night that it's all connected. Mm-hmm. It's all connected. And so it's not just one thing, but it's a way of listening to your body and honoring. I hear Ellie said, I could feel blood flow, and I thought, how does she do that? I mean, I don't feel. I want to feel that too. I want to see how that is. I think the other thing for me, as I was watching Fernando this morning, it's for me, it's brought a deeper level to our relationship that I was not expecting. I wasn't sure how he was going to be with this, but you've been really open and accepting, and you've been encouraging to me, and that really has meant a lot to me. And I would recommend couples do it, actually, because it's, it is the health, but for me, it's an emotional deepening that I thought we already had. 39 years, oh my gosh. I know, so.
I think I take it for granted, and I don't want to do that no more. We've been together for so long, and we just cannot take that for granted.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got each other. We got to be healthy.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
We don't want to be anything else.
Yeah.
Healthy's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to have longevity, or what did we learn the word from Dina? Lifespan, play span. That was play span. To have play span. To live well together.
Mm-hmm. And like Cindy was saying, it's a wholeness, and we want harmony. We don't want just all be happy. We know there's going to be ups and downs, but I think we're from your coaching, we're learning some really good things to be able to bounce.
And also looking forward to supporting each other, to encouraging each other, to kind of stay with it, to do what we can. And I can't wait to tell my daughter Amalia, because I know she would have loved this. Yeah, to kind of say, this was really quite something.
Good.
Yeah.
And you might see them someday soon.
Yeah.
Good. We have more coming. So, what were your top 1, 2, 3? Not doesn't have to be in order, anyways. But did you have 1 or 2 great nuggets that you're taking back home with you that you're like, okay, I had this great aha. Like when she said this was wow. Or this is the one thing I want to change first in my routine at home. Anything that really stood out to you that was a big nugget, I would call it, that you're taking home?
I think it was just the example and the how you demonstrated for us the meals that we had, healthy, good, wholesome meals,
Filling.
and I could be the world's pickiest eater.
Yes.
I'm not gonna eat
Yes.
that, but
Yeah.
I ate some sweet potatoes yesterday that I would never have eaten.
Yes,
You know?
that's true.
But it was just the
That's
example. You're practicing what you're telling us, and I think that's going to come. That's going to be good. For me, that was a big one. I thought we were just going to get, I don't know, greens and
Rapid food.
Salad all day.
Yeah.
But no, that was wholesome food. That was a good call. I liked how you demonstrated and how we were able to do the self-care procedures. That was good. That's going to be good. And I probably should have started with the first one. Whatever you did, it's working. I feel a connection with my body that I didn't feel before. I felt like I was put together in parts, and I didn't like that feeling. I like this feeling better. It's a better feeling.
That's awesome. How about you, Sandy?
I don't think it was just maybe one thing. I think it was a combination of things. I think watching Fernando letting go and allowing things to happen helped me let go and allowing things to happen. And so I think it was, and the group was so welcoming and so supporting, and you know, Ellie saying, "What are you doing to her? I feel that too." And I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, you know, this is just amazing." How powerful, you know, as a social worker, I know about group dynamics. I've taught it, I've done it, etc. But I've really seen it at a different level. The group dynamics at a very deeper, meaningful level than I've ever had before. And I think that's one of the things, the community that you've kind of created, and that we will continue with the Facebook. I think I'm looking forward to that. I think that's really good. I too with the food, because I get, once again, you know, I was thinking, okay, you're going to tell us to do this, and we can only have half a cup of this or whatever. But it was like, no, I mean, you could, and my daughter, you know, I was hearing my daughter's voice, you know, you could do this. You don't have to have bread with chicken salad all the time, you know. You know, you don't have to have bread at every meal. You don't have to have dessert at every meal, you know, kind of thing. And so that was reinforcing. Just the menu itself was reinforcing what it is that, it really is so easy. But it really taught me a lot about, you know, what to eat. And I was even thinking about that when we go home, you know, as we're going home, because we're going to have a long flight. I was thinking, okay, we went to that place in the airport that had a really good salad. And so I thought, okay, we can go and get a salad. So I was just beginning to plan to be able to do that. I think the other thing is just my body feels different. You know, I mentioned that my abdomen doesn't feel as full. That's part of it. But it just, and I wish I had a good word to describe it, but it just feels comfortable.
Lovely.
I feel much more comfortable in my body. I think because of my size, I have always, I'm very conscious of that. And I think I always will be, but for the first time in a very long time, I just feel comfortable in my body.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's what you bring
Yes.
to the table with us for us. It just feels comfortable. There's no negativity. I mean, it just feels there's a balance.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So if somebody's is on the fence and they're trying to decide whether or not they should come to here, you know, come spend the money, spend the time. I mean, you guys flew all the way from Texas. What would you tell them? That why should they come? Why should they spend the money, the time, and the investment to be here?
They should not regret not doing it. They have to try it. And you have to just be open to it and just try it. Because you don't want to live life with regrets. That's what I would say.
I think that if a person is on the fence, and it could be for a number of reasons. It could be financially. It could be just the time involved, away from family, all those kind of things. If a person feels stuck in their lives, and it's like they've tried all these different things and it seems not to work, and that's what I thought a lot about was, we have tried this thing and this thing and this thing, but you put it all together. You put the whole thing together, and people need to be able to give themselves the opportunity to experience a paradigm shift. You need, especially when you're stuck, and it doesn't matter if it's health, if it's money, if it's whatever, family, whatever, that it's worth the investment because it helps you, it gives you a paradigm shift. And for me, because I said in the beginning, I get really excited and then I go away and then it's all gone. It really feels like it's going to stay. I don't know how else to say it, but it really feels like it's going to stay. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're all wanting. Yeah. And so that's what I would say. If you really feel stuck in whatever aspect of your life, this is a good way to kind of get a reverse button to get back to get back to your best self.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. That was going to be my next question is, do you feel like you understand what does the reverse button make sense to you? Is that a good title for this, do you feel? Does it?
Well, it's really, and at first I thought, that's really, it was very unique, and I thought, I said, I really like it. Mm-hmm. And I think it is good. Mm-hmm. Because, and I wrote that, and I can't remember what I wrote, because you said what would be a good, kind of like a subtitle, mm-hmm. and I put returning to your best self.
Nice. Okay.
Because it's, that's what I feel like I'm doing, is I'm returning to my best self, and I've started a new position where I work, mm-hmm. and so I was also thinking, this has really opened up my mind to how I think of things. Mm-hmm. It's opened up, not just in work and all that, but the way that I look at food, the way that I look at exercising. It's as simple as yoga. You can do it on the TV because we're thinking about joining the gym, and it's as simple as leaning against the wall. It's as simple as walking. It doesn't have to be exorbitant. Mm-hmm. It's just something that needs to be done consistently.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, the reverse button is it's a start button for me. Mm-hmm. No, it's not having to step backward, but it's giving you a direction, a redirection, mm-hmm. and it kind of mirrors what you were doing, mm-hmm. but just it's interesting. I like the concept.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great.
It means a lot to me.
God, thank you. So, how did you guys feel about the timing of this? Was this enough information, or was the time? It was a Friday night to Sunday afternoon. Was this timeline good for you? Was this like, oh my gosh, too much, too little? How was your feeling? It was just right.
I think today's Sunday.
Yep.
I don't know where the hours went.
Yeah.
Because we traveled, I like the idea of getting here Friday night. Mm-hmm. Getting here Saturday morning would have been a tight challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know where the time went. Yeah. You could, I know you had clocks on the wall. You didn't need clocks on the wall. It went so smooth. It went so fast. Nice. I think the timing's okay.
I do too. It's I was an academic for a long time, and so as I said, I didn't think about it as you were facilitating, but I'm thinking about it now. There was such an ease in presentation in the. It's like a full experience because I think if you just had like a Saturday and half a day Sunday, I don't think it would have as great an impact, at least on me. Okay. It was that those 2 nights kind of thing that I think solidified it. Solidified for me, so I think that it's a really good time frame.
I like the environment. It was all in one place. We didn't have to worry about going to different locations.
Yeah.
And I know all we had time was for dinner and to rest, and that was good.
Yeah, and I thought it was good that we couldn't figure out how to do the TV. I thought, I said, the second night I thought, there's a message here. Let's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
We get bombarded with, and
Sensory overload.
Yeah, sensory overload, and kind of at a stalemate of just staring at the TV. And I thought, I think it's good not to have to watch TV all the time. And
We did watch the tape last night on stress. That was interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Interesting tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What? How do you feel about the value that you paid to be? I mean, you guys paid as a couple, so you really invested.
Mm-hmm.
How did that? Do you feel you got your money's worth this weekend?
Without a doubt, absolutely. It's a value that I don't know how to explain it. What I sense, what I feel from you, and we've had this conversation. I think we've had this conversation before. Is that you just give this energy, and the best I can do is do the right thing with it, and the value's there. It's the value's there.
Yeah, I think especially when you take the cost of lodging, and that you're providing all the meals.
Right.
I do believe that it's priced well.
Yeah, the inclusive price was good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And do you have any final last thoughts or stories or sharing that you wanted to possibly share with other people to know? You guys have done great on your interview here to let us. You've shared a lot of great things. Is there any great one last piece that you're like, you know what? I just want to make sure that this gets shared out into the world.
I plan on doing that, and I'm looking forward also to the post contacts that we'll have.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be important.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot minimize that.
Good. The post session.
Post sessions.
Yeah. When I many times when people experience a paradigm shift, sometimes it's because they've had a crisis and they had to make one. Sometimes maybe it's because of the environment, something changes and they have to change something. But it's very dramatic, and sometimes it can be traumatic. I said, for me, it was very smooth. I didn't know it was happening when it was happening, and it's not until I'm sitting here and thinking about it and then when I was writing, responding to the end of the questions, and I was thinking I'm interested to see what I first wrote. I said, because it's been a process, and for me, as I was watching you work on Dina, I was thinking, because something that I've done with the people I work with as a provider, and even when I was teaching, it's trust the process. You need to, and I kept telling myself that, because at one point I was waiting for you to say, okay, you have half a cup of this, and, and it was like, the paradigm shift is not, it's very subtle and it's gentle, and for me, I really believe it's going to be long lasting.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I think we've been looking for this. I think we found it.
Yeah. My daughter was saying, how much are you spending, and what are you going to do? And I said, we really need to be shaken up or something, because we're at a stalemate, and we weren't shaken up. It was just a very smooth transitions, and you have such a beautiful way of inviting that for everyone, and everyone is able to take what they need, and then being able to say, okay, this is what I need, this is what I need to do, and then be able to move forward from that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
It's been
Thank
wonderful.
you so much.